Well, the 2022 NFL season for the Pittsburgh Steelers is over. We finished 9-8, despite being 2-6 at our bye week. Before we were 2-6, and then we ended up going 7-2 after our bye week. And this was supposed to be a rebuild year, and we went 9-8, didn't get eliminated till the final week. So I mean, it's not bad actually really damn good for a rebuild year. So despite the fact Steelers won yesterday, got eliminated from the playoffs because the Dolphins beat the Jets. Because if the Steelers were to make the playoffs, we had to beat Cleveland, had to have Miami lose to the Jets, and New England lose to Buffalo. New England lost to Buffalo, and we beat Cleveland. Miami won. So Miami is the 7th seed. The Steelers were the team that just missed. They were the 8th. But this was just a really weird season. I mean, you guys saw my videos back in October of how I said the Steelers were terrible. I said we were one of, if not the worst team in the NFL. And, man, after I said that, we really turned stuff around. I was like, we're probably going to be 1-7, should be 0-8 by our bye week. We're just really bad. And we ended up finishing the season 9-8. So, I mean, hey, we're pretty damn good for a rebuild year. So here, this video is basically just my thoughts and feelings on the 2022 season now that it's over. The defense had a very bad start, but they had an extremely strong finish to the season. After they allowed 37 points against the Bengals, they didn't allow an opponent to score over 20 points the rest of the season, which is really good. The offense has struggled, It's Matt Canada offense. Everyone, though, the fans want Canada gone, but apparently the players don't. And Mike Tomlin, the players are defending him, so he's probably going to come back next year. So, looking forward to another crappy offensive year next season. But, I mean, we'll see. Kenny Pickett is very promising. His rookie season did not start good. In his first start, he threw 3 interceptions against the Jets, and then he threw another 3-interception game against Miami. Pickett ended the season with more interceptions than touchdowns. I think Pickett ended the season with it was 7 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. He started he threw 8 interceptions before the bye week, and after the bye week he only threw 1, which was against Vegas. So that's really good. I'm pretty sure he didn't throw an interception against Cleveland, right? No, he didn't. But I mean, we're not a passing offense. I mean, we're not really like an anything offense. I mean, rushing game, passing game. I mean, game after game, you see the Steelers only have single-digit points at halftime, and then they end up barely winning at the end, hardly scoring any points. Sorry, but past game, the Steelers actually had a really good offensive game. We scored 28 points. I think we scored 3 touchdowns, which you never see happen. I can't even tell you the last time that we scored 3 touchdowns in a game. I mean, we only scored 2 touchdowns in the Raiders and Ravens game combined. And both those touchdowns came in the less than a minute to go in those games. But overall, despite the fact that everyone said this was a rebuild year, we still barely missed the playoffs. I mean, what does that tell you about our coach? And then there's those idiot Steelers fans that want him fired, that think that he's saying mediocrity is the standard, which they're retarded. when they say that. Mike Tomlin is a great coach. I don't care what you say. The fact that he has that he could have like the worst roster in the NFL, like this season and 2019, like didn't have a consistent quarterback, and we still managed not have a losing season. Like it's just crazy. I mean, the Steelers' offense has a lot of potential. Kenny Pickett can be a great quarterback. George Pickens has shown he can be a great receiver, and I think he's going to be. But he has shown that he can be a little bit of a diva. So I hope he doesn't go the Antonio Brown or the Juju route and just be full of themselves and then end up, well, a few years later, you're not on the team anymore. Pat Freiermuth has potential. He could be a great tight end. I really like Najee Harris. He didn't start the season out very good, but he had a really strong finish at the end of it. Jalen Warren looks like a really good backup. The offensive line really needs some fixing because right now our five offensive linemen, we got Dan Moore Jr., Kevin Dotson, Mason Cole, James Daniels, and Chukwuma Okorafor. So I mean Mason Cole, Chukwuma, Okorafor, I mean they've proved to be pretty decent. James Daniels, that was his first year at Pittsburgh. Kevin Dotson, Dan Moore Jr., I think has to be the worst offensive lineman on our team. He's just not very good. Our offensive line is just not good. I think in the draft we're going to have to really focus on O-line because we get 2 first-round picks. We get the 17th and the 32nd pick apparently because of like some crap that Miami their owner did during the offseason. So I guess whatever. Sorry, I'm tired and but basically that's our season. TJ Watt, Cam Hayward. I think it was TJ Watt and Cam Hayward are Pro Bowlers this year. I was surprised that TJ Watt was a Pro Bowler considering that he missed like the majority of the first half of the season. Like he got hurt after week 1. He didn't come back until week 9 or 10, whatever week the Saints game was. That was his first game back, and it's just fitting how when we were terrible we didn't have TJ, but so I'm optimistic for next season. I think if we just have a pretty good draft, I think the Steelers could be a good team next year. I think we could be in competition for the AFC North. We just have to see how things go. I want Matt Canada fired. I mean, looking at his stats this year, the Steelers were like at the rock bottom for like points per game, yards per game, and everything. Like everything offensive wise, we were like pretty much at the bottom this year. Our offense was one of the worst offenses in the league statistically, and it's like you're statistically one of the worst offenses in the league, and you want to keep this guy. I don't agree with it. If we end up keeping Matt Canada next season, I don't agree with it. We needed like an actual offensive play caller. Matt Canada is more of a college guy. He needs to go back to college football. But anyway, that's 2022 Steelers season. It didn't end how we wanted it to. We had a shot at the playoffs, didn't happen. But then again, I mean, you saw before the season started how everyone said the Steelers were going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL this year, and then we end up ending with a winning record. So we ended up being better than the Browns, the bottom feeders of the AFC North. Myles Garrett. Oh, we won't play spoiler. Well, you know what? You lost, so go swing some more helmets, Myles. Anyway, 2022 Steelers season's officially over. We will see you in September for the 2023 season. And go Steelers.